Right, here we go again. Frankie Parsons here, reporting for duty, bringing you the very best recommendations in PC games for the single player, the show where I give you a top 20 of a chosen genre. The chosen genre today is the first-person shooter of the open world variety. Let's open the curtains and feast our eyes on the wonderful genres which we're doing in this, quite frankly, amazing YouTube channel today. There they all are. We're going to look, of course, at the first-person shooter of the open world, not to be confused with the linear ones, thank you very much. Let's just crack on and go straight into our top 20 today. Placing, well, I was going to say placing our medals, but we're not going to place medals today because first-person shooters of the open world variety is a very interesting genre in that it's very hard to do. And there are only a few franchises that have cracked it, and these are the franchises. There you go, as you can see, no medals today because these are the main four. That's all you need to know when you're considering to buy a first-person shooter, with a few exceptions. Let's bring in one of those exceptions right now. This is Generation Zero, which is a craft survive type of thing, but not quite craft survive type of thing, you know, in the vein of like Conan Exile, Valheim, No Man's Sky, Long Dark, State of Decay, etc, etc, because really the resources that you get, you craft weapons and armour rather than buildings or towers or defences. So there's your Generation Zero. That might be one you want to consider. There's another one, Outer Worlds. This was considered pretty good when it first came out, and it's still considered pretty good. It's like Fallout, only with a spit of paint. I was going to say a spit of polish, I think the phrase is, and a polish of paint, if that kind of makes sense. So there's that. That's Outer Worlds. And of course the elephant in the room, Cyberpunk 2077, which should have a red envelope next to it to show that I haven't bought it, because as you know, I do not buy games when they first come out. You wait a year or two, you'll get it for about 75% off, very cheap price, and you'll get it with it fixed. So that's Cyberpunk there, waiting in the wings. Right, let's throw in some honourable mentions. Here they are. The Stalker series, quite old, quite retro. I have tried a little bit of the first game, played it for a couple of hours, quite enjoyed it, didn't really get into it deep, so that's waiting on the sidelines there. Homefront Revolution, not hugely popular, but one that I haven't tried yet, so that's there. Now we're going to bring in the Rage games. There are only two of those. The first one, of course, the original. A lot of people don't like that, but I thought that was smashing. People say that it was a bit murky, a bit brown, a bit too muddy looking. I thought it was really good. You drive around in a car and you go into your areas. Rage 2, which I thought was really good. Again, another much criticised game, but I think that one was just as good as Fallout New Dawn, and I really enjoyed the gunplay on that. I thought it was a fantastic game. Let's have a look at the next row. A franchise that was pretty good when it first came out, but really took off with the arrival of Far Cry 3, a seminal game. I've played a lot of it, about 25-30 hours of it. I've explored the full northern island of it. A lot of these games wouldn't exist without Far Cry 3, so that is a really good game, and of course it evolved since then. I'm really enjoying Far Cry New Dawn, yet to play Far Cry 5, but thoroughly looking forward to it. The next batch, of course, is Fallout. Now remember, open world games are pretty hard to do. That is why there are only four main franchises here. Fallout 3 is completely broken in Windows 10, great when it first came out. Similarly, Fallout New Vegas, I played about 30 hours in. Then I had loading issues, complicated issues there when I had to uninstall it, but got enough out of it to get quite good value. Fallout 4, as you can see, not played yet. Fallout 76, again another much maligned, fashionable to criticise that one when it first came out, but actually, again, I bought it about 8 months after it was released, and they kind of sorted it out, and I would not knock Fallout 76. The only problem with Fallout 76 I find is the huge inventory system where you're constantly churning things around, turning things around in your inventory system, like your Pip-Boy thing. So everything's kind of, you have to move things around. That's only my only criticism there of Fallout. A true open world game, by the way, much like Far Cry, which is true open world. You can go from one end of the kind of the map or the island right to the other, and there's no load screens. Now with Borderlands, you do get load screens. It's more like areas, huge areas, mind you, to explore, but you do have those load screens in between. So you could argue that Borderlands is not, you know, strictly speaking, an open world, but there they all are. The first one I played, I had a lot of enjoyment there, 50 hours of gameplay. Borderlands 2 I'm enjoying immensely. I had a session yesterday, I think that's fantastic. Not tried that one yet, and of course Borderlands 3 is waiting after I've done Borderlands 2. There it is, folks, that's your open world games, and I will see you in the next video.